Justified when people are occupied. Resistance is justified when people are occupied. Resistance is justified when people are occupied. Russia, stop the war. Stop Russia, stop the war. Stop Russia.
My name is Katya, and I'm a Ukrainian. I'm 25 years old. I live in London. The so-called peace deal, more like a deal, I think a lot of Ukrainians are getting frustrated because a lot of the Russian propaganda is being repeated by someone who has obviously been an ally of Ukraine and Europe for many decades now. But to be honest with you, the frustration, for everybody, is that there's been no action from our allies that's been significant enough for us to see a difference on the front line. And you could talk about government loans and the donations coming from government, but really we continue to raise money individually for our friends and family on the front lines. We send them money to buy things like helmets and cars, and that's still an issue. Obviously everyone's really exhausted, and we want to go back home and be able to return and visit, and yeah. Putin is a terrorist.
If you could tell me a little bit about Trump's comments on Zelensky, and what do Ukrainians think right now about what he said?
Well, he said something that was really factually incorrect. He said he has a 4% approval rate when it's about 57, which is higher than Trump's. And he said he's a dictator, which is funny because we can't have elections during war, obviously, because how would you ensure that they're fair and democratic and everyone's represented, especially in the territories that are occupied? So we cannot have another election, and we do think Zelensky is doing a job that is a very difficult one, and running an election right now is not feasible. So he's not a dictator, he's just a political leader during a very difficult time for the country. To be honest with you, it's become more and more of a pessimistic thing to talk about, because right now the two options in my mind are either we need to have a European army get involved, and we're not prepared for that. The UK supporting maybe on a logistical side more than trench warfare, or, we surrender and then delay that same conflict by a couple years, because it's going to happen anyway. It's just a matter of when. But I do believe that eventually, maybe 20 years' time, Kyiv is going to be one of the greatest capitals of Europe, and everyone's going to be wanting to go there, and it's going to be a thriving, country, economy, and a people. Woo! Like it deserves to be. Yeah.
Hell yeah.